Wednesday, August 20th, 2025. We'll begin with an invocation by Councilmember Egbert and then led in Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Jones, or Councilmember Jones, excuse me.
Our kind and gracious Heavenly Father, we're so grateful for the opportunity we have to gather together as a community of friends and family members and supporters today so that we can celebrate our public safety leaders, so that we can make decisions on behalf of this community together. We're so thankful for this remarkable nation we live in that affords us the opportunity to make decisions together and create the community in which we want to live. We're thankful for the opportunities we have, and we ask you to help guide our decisions this evening, that we might choose the best outcomes for our community in both the short and long term. We say these things in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we'll begin this evening with a special presentation, and I think Ryan's going to, or is Jeremy done? Jeremy, Ryan. Okay, here we go.
Thank you, Mayor and Council, for taking the time out of the schedule tonight to do this. This is a great opportunity for all of us to recognize what you and most of you did 7 years ago. That, you know, if there was ever a question in your mind if that was the right decision or not, and that was to hire Chief Glasgow for the chief, everything that he's done since in the last 7 years, that should be the answer, no question. This designation that Chief Glasgow has earned is very, very difficult to get. It's a lot of work, and it's not just, you know, rubber stamp, do a couple of classes and you're done. There's 3 different certifications you got to get to the or 2 more. This is the 3rd one. They take, I did the first, well, Chief Glasgow did the supervising, 4 or 5 years ago, and then he introduced it to me. I didn't even know about it, and so I did mine. There's only 99 supervising fire officers in the state of Utah. So Chief Glasgow got that one, then he got the managing, which is even harder than the first one, but you have to have the first one as a prerequisite to even go to the next one. There's only 15 of those in the entire state of Utah, managing fire officers. Chief Glasgow is one of them. Now tonight he's getting his administrative fire officer. There's only 4. He's the 4th in the state. There was only 3 before him. So that's an awesome accomplishment, because there's only 4 of them that have made it to that level in the state of Utah. So this is a little history and background on where these designations came from. So in the early 2000s, the International Association of Fire Chiefs recognized a tremendous need for increased leadership capabilities in fire and EMS. Although the developing fire officers around the country were doing great applying their technical skills at the incident, but they lacked some leadership skills at 4 different development levels. The Professional Officer Development Committee, appointed by the International Association of Fire Chiefs, systematically worked through a clearer roadmap for fire officers to be able to get these. And like I told you a minute ago, the first one is the supervising fire officer. The next one is managing fire officer, and then there's the administrative fire officer, and then the top level is the executive fire officer, which, give it a few more years and I'm sure that Chief Glasgow will have that. I can pretty much assure you of that. And then in 2009, the International Association of Fire Chiefs put the emphasis on this and actually put these levels out there. And each category that each one of these are up against, what you're up against to do them is you have to have the education first, and then you have to have the experience, and then there's certifications, and then extra training classes. And they all increase to build a stronger foundation for years to come in the fire service. The thousands of hours that the fire officer has to commit is a true testament and dedication for the opportunity to get these. So the state of Utah adopted these, the International Association of Fire Chiefs Utah State adopted the International Association of Fire Chiefs Officer Development Handbook and this same roadmap for a higher standard. And tonight, like I said, Chief Glasgow has spent thousands of hours engaged in developing his leadership skills through his education, experience, certifications, and training to obtain this designation. By completing the demanding requirements for the administrative fire officer, he is now a much higher level of leadership skills, and like I said earlier, only the 4th person in the state of Utah to get this designation. So I'd like to congratulate our Chief Glasgow.
Yeah, I'm not dressed very good.
Thanks again.
Thanks, Ryan, appreciate it. Oh, yeah, for sure, take some. Have your mom get one, too. Yeah.
Okay. 1, 2.
Boys, you want to come? Come up here, boys. Yeah, come on. For sure.
Of course, Mom.
Make us look thin.
Okay, every second.
Put the cameras up high.
There you go, okay.
There you go. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for coming to support Chief Glasgow and the rest of our fire department. Thank you for your participation, and thanks for all you do. Appreciate it.
Jeremy's on the board too. That's why he did it.
Nice work. Nice work, Jeremy.
He's been on the board for the last year and a half. So he's helping evaluate all the standards.
Oh, really?
Which is really awesome.
That's excellent. Thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate you. Okay. All right, now we'll move to our public forum. We have 2 people who have signed up, Clay Allred and Dave Smaldone. Clay, if you'd like to come up first, it'd be great.
Have to ask for your patience. I've never done this before, so bear with me.
So
Don't know what I'm doing.
The way it goes, you state your name first because Camille puts it on the record, and then
Okay.
we know who you are, and then you just
Yep.
go for it.
Clay Allred. Allred. Yep. Yeah, I just wanted to address the council and mayor about flag lots. I know that's kind of been a thing in the past, and I'm kind of late coming to the game here. But recently, we have submitted a plan. We live on 1 acre. First of all, we live at 528 West, 1600 North, and we have an acre that we'd like to try to split. And in working with the planning department, they said that it would be considered a flag lot if we do that. And I found in preparing for this meeting and also in working with the planning department, I found a City Council staff report dated March 6, 2024 that lays out all the terms for a flag lot, and it was voted approved, unanimously approval in that statement, and they said that it was approved by the planning department, but it was denied by city council. So I just wanted to address city council and see why those were denied and maybe see if we can reopen that discussion for reconsideration. And that's about it. So I have all of my, there was 11 items that they named in that staff report, and our lot is able to meet all 11. I can read all those, but I thought with interest of time, I know we're only allowed a few minutes here, that I'd probably just forgo that for now, because you guys, I'm sure, know what's on the report.
For sure. So have you met with Sean yet? Do you
I
know
have
Sean?
not.
Okay, so this is Sean Conroy, he's our city planner. So he's the one that is most versed in all the ordinances in the code.
Okay.
And what I would recommend we probably do is go through it with Sean to determine what the exact situation is and how the code applies to it to see if there's an option. Because I'm guessing right now that everybody up here is going to, doesn't remember what we did. What month in 2024 was that you said?
It was March, it's dated March 6th.
Yes, a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
I'm guessing we're not going to remember exactly what the terms were and what happened. And so the best way to do it is to meet with Sean. You set up a meeting with Sean and you go through it so we understand the specifics, and then he can bring it to us. And you're welcome to come at the
Okay.
same time. But that way we can have a comparison to look at and have the council review it there.
No, that's perfect. That's like exactly what I was looking for. They just said it was denied or we couldn't do it, and then I didn't really have any course of action after that. So that's why I'm here tonight, is just figure out if there's a different course of action. I didn't know if I needed to get petitions signed or anything like that.
Was
So it
this-
sounds like I'll set up an appointment with Sean.
Was this your lot in 2024, or is this just a lot?
This is our lot, yeah. We've lived there for over 10 years. Like I said, it's an acre. We just want to split it in half, so it's 2 half-acre lots.
Okay.
And we meet all of the requirements. I think one of the requirements was to have over 14,500 square feet, which a half acre is well over that and everything, so.
Yeah, we'll need to pull the history and look at some of the conversation that was had to really look into it. We're not inclined to approve flag lots for
Right.
right, but absolutely, it's worth bringing up a conversation. I'm happy to, I mean, whenever anything comes before council, you're always welcome to talk to us individually too.
Okay.
So we can talk through whatever those concerns were, but yeah,
I did send
I
an
don't-
email
off
to
my
city
head.
council
Yeah.
last week and didn't hear anything back, so I thought,
Oh.
well, I'll just show up to the
I
meeting
don't
and see
remember
what they say.
seeing it. So it's possible we changed our domain name from mapleton.org to mapleton-utah.gov. Yeah, mapleton-ut.gov, so it's possible it got stuck in there, because we're usually pretty responsive. So we'll dig through that, but happy to
Okay.
talk about it. Let's get some context from Sean in that last meeting.
Okay, I
Great.
found, did see his name and stuff on the website. Should I just email you directly instead
You
of?
reach out to me.
Okay.
Yes, that's perfect, Clay. He's great. He can go through the code with you and review it to make sure that it either does meet it or doesn't meet it, and what the options are, so you can get going on it.
All right, awesome, fantastic.
Awesome, thanks for
guys.
coming. Good to meet you.
Thank you.
All right, Dave?
Council. Dave Smaldone, and I'm a resident here. And I really just wanted to come tonight and thank the city and all of you for allowing me to run for city council. It's quite an experience, you know, so I appreciate the city more than I did before, and I plan to, you know, stay involved in some capacity. And appreciate, Camille, you know, exceptionally helpful, and Corey and Sean, and I got to visit with Logan a little bit. Last time I saw Logan, I think he was about this high. Yeah.
He just barely,
He's high now.
Dave, just move your hand just a little.
Yeah. All he did was gymnastics, you know. And then also Chief Jackson. So I learned a lot about the city. So it was really quite a positive experience for me, and I want to congratulate the whole city council, you know, elected representatives. It's quite a chore to get elected, so I compliment every one of you, you know. And then I wanted to wish the best for Mayor Hakes, Councilman Garrett, and Councilman Beck and their, you know, as they continue their campaigns, and then also for Francis, Jake, and Melanie. And it was a pleasure to get to know Angela. So I think I covered everybody, but just want to say a big thank you to all of you. It's really, become very, well, I've always been impressed with Mapleton, but I'm impressed with the city, how it functions, and, you know, nice, you know, that we can have the freedoms here that we do. So anyhow, thank you.
Takes some guts to get up here, Dave, so you got up here and did it, so good job. Angela,
And-
too, so good
And
job.
thank you for being so gracious throughout this process. You've been really exemplary, and it's been a pleasure to watch, and I'm sure you'll continue to contribute, especially as we talk about energy. So I love that you have some unique back, and please keep bringing it. Whenever anyone runs, the best two things you can get out of running for office is you'll learn more than you ever thought you'd learn, and you'll meet so many amazing people you never knew you'd meet otherwise. So it's neat that you recognize that so fast. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we move forward now with the agenda, and the first item is our three consent agenda items, and if there's no questions, we'll ask for a motion.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Jones, a second by Councilman Beck.
Carlson, yes.
Egbert, yes.
Deck, yes.
Jones, yes.
Garrett, yes.
All right, is our consultant here? Okay, we're going to move to item number 5 first. We're going to go consideration of an ordinance adopting the water use and conservation element of the general plan. Mr. Conroy.
Thank you, Mayor, members of the council. So recent changes to state law require the city to adopt a water conservation element of the general plan, and they outline specific requirements that need to be included in that. The city has adopted several master plans regarding water and water infrastructure and planning, including the water conservation plan that was adopted in 2023. Most of what's in the conservation plan already addresses the requirements in state code. So what we're proposing to do is just amend that document to act as both, so that we don't have a redundant, essentially another redundant plan. So we've included the strikeout, the changes in strikeout and underline in the conservation element. Really, it was just including some language regarding the land use ordinance and our landscaping standards, which we've included now in the conservation plan. The conservation plan also is required to be reviewed every 5 years, so this document will come back in the next couple of years to be fully renewed and updated as well. But we just wanted to include the requirements so that we can make sure that we're in compliance with state code on this one.
Great, thanks, Sean. Any questions for Sean before we? If there's no questions, we'll open it for public comments, seeing this is a public hearing item. Seeing there are no public comments, we'll close the public hearing and turn it back to the council for any questions, comments, or motion.
I was just curious, what kind of progress has been made on a local waterwise garden? I didn't realize the goal was by December 31st, 2027. Do we, I don't know what kind of steps we've taken.
Yeah, I can answer that one. So we worked with Logan to put together some plans for at least around some of our public works facilities. And so we just need to go construct that now, but it'll be done, yeah, well before 2027. If the council wants to consider something, I guess, bigger, that's what we have on the docket right now is kind of updating some of our around our wells and around our lift stations, sewer lift stations that are in the middle of, I mean, we have several of them, so they are in the middle of neighborhood areas, and just show people by what we have around there, what they can do in their own yards.
Mm-hmm. So. Yeah, I've seen some of those plans, and I get, and I appreciate what the, what's been made on those plans. I'm excited for that to happen. I was just curious if there's a talk on a waterwise garden as well, just because it was mentioned in the report. But if we don't have a definitive plan right now, then
we don't have a set plan for a specific waterwise garden. Showcasing other than okay. Like I said, putting the waterwise
the landscaping
around
the
landscaping
wells,
around our own.
One thing neat about that too is that provides an example for others to go and see what kind of waterwise landscaping they can use for their own lots.
Yeah, so one of the things is once we have all those planted, or at least some of them planted, we'd put it up on we have a water conservation page on Public Works, and so we could both include pictures on there and direct them to where they could go to take a look and come and ask
5 years ago, I worked with the Water Conservancy District because they had sold their property up there on University Parkway, and their intent was to have smaller satellite locations so people can educate themselves on water-wise plants and so forth. We had talked about at some point potentially incorporating that as part of the build-out of this city center block, but we didn't have the facilities master plan at that time. We do have that now. As that takes shape, that may merit some additional conversations with them to see if there's still some aligned objectives there that we can work with?
Yeah, this was before Rob's time, so we had talked about having sort of a community garden with water-wise demonstration with like a walking path that we could use. But in the interim, and I think along what Casey's ideas are, I think there's a great social strategy. There's so much rich content in this document. I love for efficiencies the merger of it, but there are great tips and tricks and strategies. I'd love to see a social media campaign to help people, sort of like the flip the strip. Now, we're not eligible for those discounts in Mapleton, but we could educate, we could spotlight some local homeowners who have done really good water-wise landscaping. So if that's something Destiny could do, I'd love to see us take this strategy and actually act on it and encourage our residents to act on some of those strategies, at least until we have other options. But I appreciate that as the city is doing more building and updating landscapes, that we're keeping these principles in mind. So in the interim of not having that, we could certainly highlight people who are doing it well and where the city is doing it well, and then give tips and tricks and link out to our own website. So I'd love to see that.
That's good.
One last quick question that was simply mentioned in this document. It's regarding the highway, park strips on the highway. What comes to my mind is that subdivision right across the street from the church on the highway. My question is, it's so difficult for trees to grow in the rocks. I'm not saying we change that, but they often die, and then we're left with rocks. Is that on the radar? I mean, do they have irrigation to them? I'm assuming they do.
They do.
They
yeah.
do? So is that just a matter
It's a
of,
fill issue, not so much the rocks and the landscaping, it's just the underlying soil that.
so when those start to die, it's just a matter of somebody ringing the bell and putting it back up as a priority?
Yep.
Is that correct? Okay.
I guess one thing that that we might be able to do, and I think it would be a coordination between Sean, Logan, and I is as we update our specifications and our guidelines, we could have some guidelines on what kind of soil preparation or what kind of, I guess based off of what type of soils you have, what type of preparation would help the long-term growth of the street trees.
And
I think that would be a great step. Just, I think long-term, that just adds so much to that highway.
I'd love to see some of that too. And Logan, I'm sure you're on top of this, but I see more of this iron issue in our trees this year than I have ever seen. I brought in an arborist for my own house to say, help me save these. So I think there probably is something longer term as our soil is lacking in those essential nutrients to remain a tree city expectation. So yeah, this year is ugly. I don't have any questions.
I'll make a motion to approve the it is,
Did it.
we did already. Yep. I make a motion to approve the ordinance adopting the water use and conservation element of the general plan.
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Jones, second by Councilmember Egbert.
Egbert, yes.
Beck, yes.
Jones, yes.
Garrett, yes. Carlson, yes.
All right. We ready, Logan? All right, we're going back to item number 4, consideration of an ordinance adopting impact fee facilities plans and impact fee analysis and associated impact fees for parks and recreation. Mr. Minor.
Thank you. Mayor, members of the council. Just wanted to note Fred was with LRB, and he is currently in traffic and was slated to be here, and then traffic is a little bit crazier. So if there are any other questions that come up, if there's not things I can answer, he should be here any minute. But just wanted to note that at the beginning. So as noted in the staff report, we're updating the impact fee analysis and the study for the Parks and Rec element of our impact fees. It's a good practice as growth is coming to look at your impact fees and make sure that they do stay current. So the last time we did this study was in end of 2020 into 2021 is when they were adopted. Obviously, since 2021, there's been a lot of things that have changed with development, and then also just with some of the city property and facilities that need to be constructed, and that's a lot of that due to to the growth of the community growing. The proposal for the proposed fee right now, currently we are $3,587. This impact fee
study is proposing a fee of $5,861 for single-family homes. Multifamily is currently at $1,384, and the fee proposal would be $2,930. The LRB Public Finance Advisors, Sean, do you remember what they used to be called? They were who did our last study?
Young.
Lewis and Young? Okay. So the same group that did our last impact fee study for Parks and Rec and Public Safety is who helped us with this study as well. They've just since gone through a rebrand. But with that, if there's any other questions or concerns?
And Logan, probably the biggest reason for the change in the cost is just the value of land, right? The main component of determining this is how much would land cost if we have to purchase it, and that's why you're seeing a fairly big increase in that fee.
Are there any cities that base their impact fees on a percentage of value instead of a set fee? You ever seen that?
A percentage of value, like?
Of the value of a property that is being brought in or developed?
Not that I know of.
I don't think so.
No.
It just seems like that would make, well, I know it's not quantifiable very easily, but it would make better sense long-term than having to continually reassess the fee and up it all the time than to just have it travel along with values. But
Well, no matter what, you have to assess the fee because the needs are always changing. So a part of assessing the fee is the needs and then quantifying it and the amount. That's why it's an impact fee. You can't do one without the other. In order to determine an impact fee, you have to say, what does our facilities master plan look like in Parks and Rec? And then you say it's going to cost this, then it goes in the impact fee. That's what it is.
Got it.
But he's saying an increase of it is because of land values also, since the
Makes
last
sense.
time we did it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, good. Any other questions for Logan?
Just a simple one, persons per household, is that determined, is that by city, statewide? How do they determine
He's just using
household.
census data.
For Mapleton?
Yeah, so we're just the average. So.
That's what I assumed, and I wasn't sure that.
Yeah, and during the study too, they take into account current facilities, future facilities, current things that are located in the facilities, even down to how many miles of trails, pavilions, playgrounds, sports fields, all of that is taken into account on calculating what the impact fee is. And then, like Sean stated, a lot of that is based off land value as well, so.
I have one question. I don't have any issue with the fee itself. I am curious if you can just clarify something on page 10, right above that table 4.3. Based on the expected changes in population over the planning horizon, the city will need to invest approximately $10 million in parks, including amenities, to maintain the proposed level of service. Can you speak to that? And is that that's what we hope to garner from? That's not all going to come from impact fees, correct?
No.
So can you just speak to that for a moment and where those, how we maintain that level of service?
Yeah, it's a great question. I mean, it's a little bit hard to substantiate exactly how we would do that, but that's, part of this analysis is looking at those long-term commitments to those public spaces. So the level of service is referring to, how many acres per thousand of what we're going to, as part of our general plan. Sean, do you recall 3.1, 3.2?
0.26 acres per 1,000.
Okay, 3.26, yeah. So that projection is based on, their quantitative data, I guess, of how many people are moving in and then how much space is required to keep that level of service.
Sure.
So now how that's funded is, that's up
That's for many future council. My point is to simply underscore that the impact fees are not going to cover $10 million of park improvements or acquisition of land.
No.
Therefore, other funds, other revenue sources would be required in the future.
Yes.
To maintain that level of service. Is that accurate?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. And one thing to that note too, it's not good practice to use impact fees as a revenue stream.
Sure, of course.
Because of the volatility in a market, right? We don't ever want to base our planning off of impact fees because, tomorrow we could stop having people build. So it's good practice not to base those types of projections solely on impact fees, but being able to have different buckets to help fund
Of course.
different projects.
Yeah, very good, thank you.
Okay, this is a public hearing item, so we'll open it for public comment. If there are any, come forward now and speak to this item. Oh,
Because I could never sit in a room and be quiet. Angela Silva, 1682 North, 740 East. I just have a question about parks. It seems like, and maybe this would be a question for Sean or Logan, it seems like we think of open space and parks in a silo, like for the boundaries of Mapleton, but we're surrounded by open space. Is that ever figured into those numbers? So it's just in a silo?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So the BLM land, National Forest land, none of that counts?
Well, considering in the strategy for like the wheels, the bike park, I mean, we've talked about how we would have to integrate with that property, get all of the trails we need. So it's in conversation, to not necessarily in these numbers that are kind of a fixed quantification calculation.
Yeah.
But anecdotally, we've absolutely considered that to make the best situation out of the trails.
Okay.
and some of the trails do exist in that area, Angela, up in those areas, right?
Yeah, I
And
know.
then the city owns some land on the mountain. But as far as parks, when we do a park study, it's how many acres of parks do we need to
Right.
satisfy the Parks and Rec program, which is soccer and the events and all
Yeah.
that stuff,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
is what he's mainly focused
Right.
on.
And it's based on the population too, not necessarily open space acreage around. the
Well,
city.
I know, but the proportions, I was just curious.
No, the
And that's
comment's
open
good, because
comment.
obviously we got a couple
Well,
hundred
I'm not
thousand
like
acres
making a
here.
decision, I'm
Right,
just
right.
saying.
No, it's good.
I'm just saying it seems a shame to carry the costs of all of those proportions when we are surrounded by that space.
By a
Anyway.
big park.
National park.
All right, any other comments? Seeing there none, we'll close the public hearing portion and turn back to council for,
I guess I had one last question. Do we know when the next impact study will be done or started?
It's really up to us. We've been in discussions some cities are doing it actually annually to make sure that their projections are matching reality, and you're not making a huge jump, because if you wait too long, the fees jump quite a bit.
Right.
So we've been in discussions with that, and as administration, we may be bringing something along those lines to you. But typically, it's 5 years at the most, and anywhere in between.
Right, I think a few months ago, it was a discussion item, right, to perhaps do it more frequently.
Yeah.
Yep, okay. I'll make a motion to adopt the impact fee facilities plans and impact fee analysis and associated impact fees for parks and recreation.
Second.
I have a motion by Councilman Beck and a second by Councilmember Jones.
Beck, yes.
Jones, yes.
Garrett, yes.
Carlson, yes.
Egbert, yes.
Great, thank you. We'll move forward now to our administrative reports. We'll excuse Chief Jackson tonight. He has family in town and told him that was more important, so he went and took care of that. Let's start with Bryce. You got anything? Okay, Logan? Our consultant made it.
Fred, we're already done.
We just
Fred.
ratified it.
This is going to be the easiest meeting you ever attended, Fred.
He drove down from Ogden.
Can we get him a
Yes,
drink?
man.
Can we at least give him a drink of water for the road back?
Yeah, I was just going to notice that Fred didn't make it, so thanks for coming, Fred. Just a couple of things. So we talked about this last time, but the ribbon cutting for the Parks Maintenance Building will be on September 3rd. So we'll do an open house from 3 to 5, and then we'll do the ribbon cutting at 5:15. So if you have any other questions or things prior to that, just reach out to me. But that's a Wednesday before our first council meeting in September. The Moonlight, I mentioned this as well last time, September 5th. If anybody is wanting to volunteer, thank you, Jessica, for reaching out. If anybody else is willing or able to, we'd love to have you up there.
Yeah.
You're good there? Okay. Thank you. So I'll get more details probably next week over to you, but just plan to be up at the pond. Again, I'll send the details around probably 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then we started the construction over on City Park. So just wanted to talk on a couple things on that. You know, we're trying our hardest to keep that same feel and look of City Park while we're constructing. So you will notice some things that are changing, but we're trying really hard to keep up with the maintenance while we're updating the infrastructure. So if you do see some things that are drying up or grass missing, that's part of the process, and we're hoping to work, as quickly as we can through that. Most of the demo at this point has been done on the eastern half, and then after our last concert in the park on Monday, this coming Monday, we'll then focus a lot kind of up on the front, hopefully mitigate as much with our concerts and the market on the front half. And then
Logan, maybe don't, so the farmer's market then will come here?
Yes, yep, starting in September, the farmer's market is going to move here to City Hall, just to eliminate any potential, with all the construction, we just hate to have somebody walking through and create some sort of unsafe condition for them. And then also, I think it'll be a better experience for people, attending the market. So, yeah, thank you. So that'll be the month of September, we'll do it here. And then also Scarecrow, I think I mentioned this last time, we will move that to City Hall this year for this year as well. And we've got some good, I think some fun things planned to help keep it a fun event for people to enjoy. So that's all I got.
Did you mention open house?
Yep,
Yes.
he did.
Yep.
Okay, thanks, Logan, appreciate it. Sean?
Just one quick one that actually Rob's department's working on, but we've heard from several of you, and I think Angela brought it up in one of the meetings with me, is a request to have something on the website that has more information on city projects and pending development applications. So Seth and Rob's office is working on, so we're all kind of working on that together to get something on the website that's more user-friendly for people to be able to click and see what construction projects are going on in their area or pending applications that'll be coming before Planning Commission or City Council. So,
Okay, awesome.
that's all I got.
Okay, Rob?
I guess just to continue on that, we should have something on the website next week. We may be continuing to add additional things like development afterwards, depending on how fast we can get everything up on the map, but at least a map that shows the city projects that are going on right now.
Will you share that as soon as it goes, when it goes up?
Yep.
I would love to spread the word on that. That would answer a lot of questions in the community.
Yeah, for sure, we can do that. And speaking of things, we've got all kinds of stuff going on. We just finished up today the mill and overlay project. Well, in terms of actually paving is done, there's some cleanup work that needs to be done. If you are on the north side of town, you'll notice some manholes being raised back after getting that done on 1600 North. Starting on Friday, we are going to start the microseal project, which will finish what we started on east, or 1600 North east of Main Street, all of North Main Street from Maple Street all the way up to our border with Springville, Slant Road, and 400 North from Main Street to 400 East. All that's going to get done between Friday. They were going to be working over the weekend just because of the disruption to traffic, trying to get as much done as they can when the traffic is low, finishing up if need be on Monday. The water line project is going quickly. We've finished the work at the intersections. There is the connections that need to be in between. We have adjacent projects that where we're kind of sending traffic back and forth to each other between us and Spanish Fork, and so that's why we try to get out of those main intersections as quickly as possible. But there is, just because of the how close those intersections are. I mean, they are a couple thousand feet apart, but just with the speeds and traffic control regulations being what they are, there is going to be a lot of traffic control until that project is done through there. We just needed to get out of the main intersections as quickly as possible, in part because of school and in part because of the projects that are going on just west of our boundary into Spanish Fork and road closures they're going to have to to route traffic around. So. Yeah, we'll just appreciate everybody's patience as we're trying to get a lot of projects done all at the same time. So.
Okay, keep up the good work. We like to see the roads getting redone. All right, Reed?
Don't have anything at the transfer station, and the seniors are on vacation in August, but they'll be back in force in September.
Sounds good. Awesome.
That's it.
Okay, Jessica?
Reminder on 2 events from the Community Preparedness Committee, where Melanie is the chair. Monday, September 7th from 5 to 7. Did we do 5 to 7? Oh,
September 8th.
September 8th, the Monday, yeah. That'll be our public safety night out, and that's going to be over at Harvest Park. We'll do dinner. I think it's going to be awesome at Harvest Park, actually. I think that'll be a cool place to have that. And then Saturday, November 8th, from 9:30 to 11, we'll do a self-reliance fair and partner with the Youth City Council for the food drive. That'll be at this building from 9:30 to 11. I said that. After having July off for the league board, we had a meeting this week, and things are hopping. Here are some of the the things that we'll probably pay attention to in the interim. Detached ADUs are a big topic. How to standardize them at the legislature so that every city has to comply with detached ADU rules. So we already dealt with some internal ones last year. I'm hoping internal will go away, but detached, most of the conversation is about near station area plans, which we won't have to necessarily deal with. So I'm hopeful it'll stay there. The transportation utility fee is back already. So tomorrow there's a negotiation that's happening with the league, Representative Peterson, Senator Adams, and the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints about what to do with those fees. You remember the lawsuit with Pleasant Grove about fee versus tax, the misalignment between the House and the Senate last year, not coming to agreement, and that different versions getting kicked around. And so now it's looking at like, okay, well, maybe if a nonprofit religious organization is taxed Monday through Friday and not Saturday or Sunday or one or the other, then it's okay. So stay tuned. This is going to be interesting. With the quantity of churches in Mapleton, it's a thing, but places like Provo that have a university, 2 temples, and a bajillion churches, it actually is an impact to them too. So there are some cities that are watching that a little bit harder, and rightfully so. It'll be interesting how that shakes out. Infrastructure development standards are up. The Property Rights Coalition is actively involved in discussing standardizing across all cities road depth, asphalt mix, sidewalk width and depth, pipe materials, required water rights, and more. So have fun with that. They're working with the City Engineers Association and the league to discuss. I'll just say that. And then the moderate income housing plan is back up because it's going to change every year, and apparently we'll never look at data to see actually what works for housing. We'll just keep changing the law. So that is my unfiltered commentary on that. But there's still some at the legislature who want to withhold Class B and C motor fuel tax funds for cities that are non-compliant. I believe all of the cities are actually compliant, so I'm not sure why there is a stick versus carrot conversation still, but we're gonna see some continued conversation about what that report is, some requests from cities to say, hey, we need to see actually what works first before we change this. So a little more of the same from last year, but there is a strong appetite for stick-based legislation against cities. Still. So.
Yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Good times.
Yep.
Okay, that's enough.
Okay, thanks, Jessica. All right, Casey.
Yeah, a few months ago, me, Mayor, and Logan met with NYCC about how to involve them more in city council topics, and they put together a little plan, and they're going to start in September to try to come to more meetings, to be prepared and ask questions, so they may reach out to some of us and staff as well to be more up to date on the topics. So yeah, this will be something I'm interested in following, and I'm excited to make it happen, or see it happen.
Yeah, we'll be good.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
No report.
Aaron.
Just one thing from the league, that LPC's on this Monday, right? Not the next? Okay. Just a touch, just a report for the public. We normally in the past have had a community cleanup in the fall, but we discontinued that last year, and we'll continue to discontinue it this year. So we will not have a cleanup, but we're still good for the dumpsters though, right? we'll provide the dumpsters for at least a couple days.
We're going to talk about that, aren't we,
Yeah, I was
Corey?
going to bring that up. Is that something you want to move forward with? And then also, what time of the year would you be interested in doing that?
We're planning on
Get
for a
data back from
a
the-
discussion item in the future, or you want to discuss it now?
It's your call. How would you like to proceed with, do you want to talk about it now, or do you
I
want me
wanted
to
to
come
see
back?
some
Why
data.
don't you gather
of
bring the
youth-
numbers as a discussion, and we'll talk about
Yep,
it.
I can
We
do
want to
that,
know the
so-
costs.
Okay.
I mean, we've talked about it, but I want you to bring that cost to the council so we
Right.
make a
Okay.
Yeah.
decision.
Can I remind about the league conference in Salt Lake is coming up, and then the National League of Cities is actually holding their conference in Salt Lake City this year in November. So that's a rare opportunity for us to not have to fly to like DC or anything. So I'd encourage people to participate and get a more nationwide perspective on what's happening. So October and November for those, Camille is helping register.
Cool.
Okay, great.
That's all I had.
All right, thanks, Camille.
On Tuesday, the 26th, we need to hold a canvass of the election, so we could do it at like 5 o'clock.
So that'd be next Tuesday?
Yeah.
That works.
Okay.
Yeah, should be good.
PM here.
Yeah.
think so.
Works for me.
Okay.
Okay, great. Corey?
I don't have anything.
Nothing, okay. All right, thanks, everybody, for being here, and Fred, we appreciate you being here. Logan took the heat, so.
You want to
Yeah.
get up and pontificate for the drive coming down? You're good.
We'll look for a motion to close.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Councilmember Jones, and a second by Councilman Garrett. All in favor?
Yes.
Garrett, yes.
All right, thanks.